All right, now we have steps 8 and 9. I'm going to do step 8 here real quick. In this case, it's just adding some of the detail parts. It's nice that this isn't a billion pieces still for all time. So what we have is part K24. It has a mount with the pins on the bottom, and then on top it has a mount with one pin and one hole, and that mounts on the frame right here where the hole goes in, and then the two pins go, well, sorry, not the two pins. One of the pins goes in. You want the piston, which is what this is meant to represent, on the front side when it is all done. So I will glue this up here and glue that up there using my forceps. Put that there. Takes a little work, but I'm thinking, actually, now that I'm putting this on, that this might be one of those instances where when you start mounting pieces, you find out that they don't all quite fit right when you put them in. Great. Because I can mount it on here. So that it is actually on there, and as you can see, in actuality, it is mounted in the hole too. So it's got kind of a cockeyed angle rather than being a straight up and down angle. I will try and show that to you there. Seems kind of odd to me, but that's what it's asking for. And you need K24 on both sides. I did not see that. So there you go. I've already made one small mistake not noticing that. So there's one on each side on the front. I'll clean this other part up real quick. And the same thing with K23 for the back side. And in that, in moving that part right now, I just moved all the parts on the instructions, so you can see one of the downsides to building that way. However, I found the extra parts real quick. And I need to be careful because these three parts are unique. Didn't want to do that, but that's the way that it happened, so damage control. Okay, so I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. In the front, put a little glue there, a little glue down here. Take my forceps. I'm going to adjust this way for putting this part on. I'm going to start at the top and get that glued in, and then find the spot for the mount pin on the bottom. And this, as you can see, takes a little bit of finagling, but it does eventually settle. A little extra there. Put a little bit on the back side. And there we go. Now moving along to the back. These parts here, actually I should clean this piston up real quick, go on either side. However, instead of coming up from the bottom, you come down from the top. So I'll have to flip the frame over real quick. All right. So looking at it this way, you can see one of the mounting pins parts is right here, and one is down here, and just in between the two of them. Seems pretty simple. Let's find out if that's true. Put some glue in each spot. And the thicker end of the cylinder on these goes at the top. And the thicker pins on these are the ones that are supposed to go inside the holes. So there's that one there. And then there. Now this might take a little bit of finagling because of the angle and that there is a little bit of room to maneuver, so to speak, in there, but it fit. Time to do the other side without knocking parts off. Huh. Oh, and as I was worried about, we have these metal pins in here. One of them just fell out. I'm going to have to locate that. And I think I might squig a little bit of glue in there once I find it, just to make sure that it doesn't fall out again. But once again, put a little glue on each end. And tonight, my first Patreon, Steve, asked me a question that I found relevant for this build. So I thought I'd answer as well. And he says, okay, if you're gonna paint this, how are you gonna, paint the frame with this being built up this way? And I thought, well, I'm not actually building this to paint. This is a commission piece that the person commissioning me wanted me to just build it so he can paint it. I have no problem with that. But if I was actually building this for myself, and I will be once this build is done, I would take each individual sprue like this and I would primer it with just some cheap rattle can black. And the idea behind that is then all the pieces are black. I haven't had any problems, at least using the tester's cement, in gluing things together and getting them to stick. They're all together, but they're black. And then when I'm done, I'll have my parts, and those areas where they get the glue are probably not going to carry the glue, carry the paint, or not look as nice, and I can do another quick coat of flat black, well, black over that. I prefer to use flat black. And then once that's on, this frame is dark. I don't have to worry about, oh, I missed a spot here or there and it's going to show up. It's black. Then I overcoat it with whatever color I want, and I don't have to worry about the shadows. Now, if I was going to do this in Desert Stand rather than in green or NATO tricolor, I would undercoat it with flat, like dark brown, or some sort of a nice medium or darker brown color instead, because that again represents those shadows for the paint. So there's my answer, Steve. Thank you, and I'll see you in step 9.